Hello, I'm the Review Man. I review it, and then after I review it, you decide whether or not to go see it. This movie review is the SpongeBob movie, Fish Out of Water, or Sponge Out of Water. We open upon Antonio Banderas playing a pirate, God knows why. I don't know, maybe they just wanted to have a pirate, and Antonio Banderas was the only one that fits the bill, but I think his portrayal as Blackbeard, or Burgerbeard, Blackbeard knockoff, God knows why again. Before I continue with this review, this movie, in my opinion, is just one long 2-hour SpongeBob episode. But that's just me. So anyway, he travels to an island to find the missing book, a book that can rewrite any history. And he finds a bunch of talking seagulls. The book tells the story of SpongeBob. Everybody knows that if you've seen the SpongeBob movie, the first SpongeBob movie, forget all that. This is a completely retelling of... Isn't actually, some people would call this SpongeBob 2. I don't know why. Because it's a SpongeBob movie. So anyway, it tells the story of how Mr. Krabs and Plankton have a big old rivalry. And in the undersea town of Bikini Bottom, after Plankton and Mr. Krabs have a food war, throwing condiments, ketchup, all this other stuff, and full of terrible puns. They decide... Plankton decides to switch out the secret formula with another formula, getting away, and that turns the town into chaos whenever Plankton and SpongeBob go into a tug-of-war, and the one's tugging, the other's tugging, and they're both tugging, and then the Krabby Patty formula just disappears. And so they decide to sacrifice SpongeBob and Plankton to the burger gods, according to what Sandy says, because all knows everybody listens to a squirrel that lives up underneath the ocean. I mean, for a kid's movie, even a kid would say this is probably bad. So, as the movie goes on, Plankton and SpongeBob decides to travel back in time to save their, and builds a time machine out of an old photo booth, a cuckoo clock, and some chips. Oh yeah, also they have to go back to the chum bucket to rescue Karen Karen is Plankton's wife, to rescue Karen to make the time machine work. So they build the time machine, goes back in time, but it's actually the fake, to save the Krabby Patty formula, but it's actually the fake formula that Plankton stole. So, and then, while this is going on, Burgerbeard turns his pirate ship into a food truck that sells the Krabby Patty formula. So he has the formula this entire time. And this movie only has 2 good cameo appearances that I know about. Epic Lloyd and Nice Peter. They do the Epic Rap Battle of History series. So so Bubbles, this time-traveling dolphin that watches over the cosmos, gets fired from his job after he goes to the bathroom, and Plankton and SpongeBob are set to watch the universe. And then this leads into Jupiter and Saturn going and crashing. So he loses his job. SpongeBob and Plankton go back in time. So they decide to steal, after they go back in time, they sacrifice them two, and they decide to go up on land after SpongeBob smells a Krabby Patty cooking. And so they're like, oh God, we can't go up on land, we're sea creatures. Again, verting back to another SpongeBob episode. This is all a bunch of SpongeBob jokes. We can't go up on land, we're sea creatures. And all of a sudden, Bubbles comes back in time and comes back, takes them up on land, gives them the power to breathe and superpowers. And listen to these names. SpongeBob decides to save the day by taking the last page of the book, the magical book that turns does anything you want it to. And listen to these names. They decide to turn themselves into superpower heroes. And listen to these names. SpongeBob is the Invincible that's able to capture everything and turn it into bubbles and let it float away. Patrick's is Mr. Super Awesomeness, which all I gathered from this scene in the movie was they're really short on jokes this late in the movie. And so that happens. Patrick's ability is to capture ice cream and use it as weapons. Squidward's superhero's name is called the Sour Note, and if you've seen the SpongeBob movie, you know Squidward plays clarinet. So yeah, Sandy's name is the rodent, and she just turns into like this big old giant squirrel and shoots nuts at people. Yeah, that's the kind of humor we're dealing with here. Mr. Krabs' superpower is called, superhero name is called Sword Pinch a Lot, and it just looks like a bad rip-off of Iron Man. A very bad rip-off. And Plankton's name is called Plankton, which is like a mix between Plankton and the Incredible Hulk. And so they get in this big old Avenger type battle between them and Burger Beard. And at the end, Plankton discovers that the power of teamwork is better than being selfish. So they decide to save the Krabby Patty formula and take it back to the Bikini Bottom where everything is all good and well. And at the end, Burger Beard is turned into the guy at the beginning of every SpongeBob episode, the pirate. But before that happens, the dolphin Bubbles and the seagulls had this big old rap battle written by the epic rap battle history guys. And so then the movie ends there with him saying, this SpongeBob song is actually kind of good. And so that was SpongeBob Sponge Out of Water. This movie I recommend to the kids, and some adults may like it, but the kids will get a kick out of it. I give it a 2 out of 5 stars. I'm Josh, the review man. If there's another movie you want me to review, let me know. I might review 50 Shades of Grey next. I don't know. Or Jupiter Ascending. I know Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is coming out, but I don't know yet. I'll review anything. So, I'm Josh. I'm the review man. Peace out, guys.